Not got any music input. Maybe I hit the wrong button. Let's see. Technology. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. Input. Volume. It's on auxiliary. TV.
Then I saw his face. Mama's words raced through my mind. It was like I heard her saying, be a good teacher and do it every day. One kind deed goes so far to
Good
make
team.
a better place. Be a good teacher and you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside. Up to him. I said, what's your name? His eyes began to sparkle and a smile crossed his face. He's not a stranger anymore. Now he is my friend. My life has been better. All because my mama said, be a good teacher and do it every day. One kind deed will go so far to make this world a better place. Be a good teacher and you may be surprised. Doing good to others makes you feel so good inside. It makes you feel so good inside. Makes you feel,
I feel
makes
good.
you feel,
So
makes you feel. It makes you feel so good inside. It makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel. It makes you feel so good inside. Makes you feel, makes you feel, makes you feel. It makes you feel so good inside.
Hello, everybody. I have my cup of tea. I have my friends right here, and we're going to enjoy a cup of tea together. This is our me time. Me time is good time. I haven't got around to doing my front windows yet. I was going to make a video, but it's just hard to do by myself. It really is. I just can't. The logistics of it is just not working for me. I don't have a harness. I don't have a hat I can put my camera on. I don't have a a camera. It's not working. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to get Justin involved, and we're doing social distancing, and that's tough. And oh well. Anyway, we'll see what I can come up with. I hadn't got the old noggin working yet. But I've been cooking today, and when you cook, you feel good. So what's for dinner at your house? I have a little pork roast that my sister Patty gave me from a pig that they had that they bought from a friend of theirs, and it's a huge pork steak. So that's cooking. It's about that thick. And I put some potatoes and carrots around that, and a little bit of my bone broth, and salted and peppered it real good. I had some leftover onions, and I tossed some onions in there, and it is smelling good. So I decided that tomorrow, if I had any left over, I'd make some barbecue, but I didn't have any buns, and I didn't want to go to the store just to get buns. So I'm making some buns. They're rising in the oven, and I learned the secret to rising bread dough in the oven is to put a pan on the bottom shelf, the bottom rack in the oven, and fill it full of boiling water. And it creates this steam cavity, and the dough just rises so pretty. And so I've got it set for 2 hours to rise, and then I'm going to make 8 rolls out of it. I got sesame seeds to go on top. I messed up the recipe. It called for some butter to be on top of the rolls. Well, I put it in the dough. So I've got, and an egg wash. So anyway, it's going to be an eggy dough, but I don't care. Bread's bread, and I'm going to take an egg wash and put some sesame seed with the oven off. Yeah, the oven's off. The hot water creates the warmth that it needs to rise in the oven, just to get it to proof the dough and get the dough puffy. Then you punch it down and you form your rolls. And yeah, homemade buns. And I'll put some sesame seeds and they'll get all toasty and good. And Robert loves sesame seed buns. So it'll be fun. Did you look up slow cooker pizza? I did not look up slow cooker pizza. I just don't like really thick dough pizza. So I don't know about that. But I'll look it up and see what I can come up with. If y'all find anything, send me the recipe. If you turn your oven light on, well, I have an oven light, but I found this in 15 little tips for making bread. And I loved it. And my little whippoorwill lady, Lori is her name, Lori Brown in Arkansas, and she lives in Whippoorwill Hollow, and she has a homestead, and she does that. She puts a pan of water in the bottom of her oven, and it makes some beautiful bread. I watched her make like 20 loaves a while ago. That's weird. She used 25 pounds of flour. She was making bread for the freezer. Yep, it was kind of fun. Making sausage jambalaya. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Well, keep my sister Patty and people in Chattanooga and other parts of the country that got hit by these tornadoes. They in pretty bad shape. Pretty bad. Leanne's not doing a live show today at 4 because unless she told you at 1 o'clock she was going to. So if she's on here, she'll tell you. We got something fun planned, y'all. Got something fun planned for you. As soon as we can get back together. So Leanne's doing an event this weekend. It's a virtual event. It was going to be people come here, and she had this cute hotel leased. It was just amazing. But she'll be able to do it this summer because we're not going to be having the Burrard Music Center, so the hotels won't be quite as full. What did Leanne say? No electricity still. Likely doing it on Friday. But she's planning on having this event. So Leanne, post a link into your Bloomin' event, and it's going to be, it looks like it's a lot of fun. So check it out. I hope she has room left because last time I looked, it was getting close to being full. But sometimes we just need to get together with the girls. So let's have a good drink of tea. I've thought it was Wednesday all day long. It's just the weirdest thing because I was working on some Wednesday emails this morning, and I think that's what got me into savingdinner.com/bloom. savingdinner.com/bloom. So check it out. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Leanne says it feels like Wednesday to her too. Yesterday was a long day. It was long enough for 2 days because I couldn't cook. I've gotten so used to, having something in the crock pot or having something in the oven and ready to go. And I love cooking. Cooking is like my therapy. And it's really, when I can put a smile on Robert's face, because he's going to get dinner and he's not going to have to fend for himself. He really likes it. He really likes for me to cook dinner. Yesterday we had Mexican, but we had eaten at home for 4 or 5 days. So we're trying to keep our local restaurants going that we love. Fujiyama and El Chapala and Ma's Grill. Those are our 3 favorites. And then we like Twin Dragons, but I don't think Twin Dragons is working because they're a Chinese buffet. If they were doing takeout, I would love that because the buffets aren't open. So we'll see. I hope they do okay. They've been in business a long time. I think they're from Cambodia. But they saved their money up and built an amazing building. And his brother built a business in Asheville, and he passed away a few years ago. So it's just a beautiful family. They're just lovely. They actually live across the street from Jack and Kathy. Well, my dog is out in the treehouse with his master. Robert is in the treehouse, and wherever Robert goes, Tulip goes. And he just loves that puppy. Ben got him a puppy. I can't wait for you to see pictures of Ben's puppy. She has blue eyes. She is just the most amazing, pretty dog. And so he's getting her a dog house. And we're just excited for him to have something to love on. He has missed having a dog. And I think it's going to be good for him. Keep him in your prayers. He says his hair is going to fall out. And we talked about go ahead and just getting it cut off. But there's no beauty shops that are working. Ben has named her Layla. The song from Eric Clapton. I don't know if he has. That's the song I think of when I think of Layla. Layla. I can't even sing it, but she's a mixed breed, so she may have a little pit bull in her and she's only going to be about 50 pounds, about the size of Tulip, he thinks. And she's a female. Yep, I love me some Eric Clapton. In fact, I might have to put on some Eric Clapton in a little while. His music calms me down. Leanne, she can sing every word of it. Oh, that feels good going down. Robert loves to have nose-licking poo with dogs when he goes out for a walk if we're in town, and he can't do that anymore. It makes him unhappy. He can't pet dogs. Y'all are just amazing. So you've already posted I had a 150-pound dog. That ain't fun. It is fun. Chief was a great dog, but he got cancer of the leg, and it was hard on us, wasn't it, Rebecca? Rebecca crawled into a snowbank for that dog. Yeah, Rebecca saved Chief's puppies, and they went to live in New England because we had this bad snowstorm. And we captured the mama and got Chief inside the office. And oh my goodness. And she rescued the puppies from this snowbank where Chief had dug a den for them. Yeah, Chief was a good dog. He came to live with us. Yeah, Rebecca's crying. We got some good dog memories, don't we, girl? Dogs are with us for a little while and then they go away. And that's a sad thing. We only have one dog right now, but we have 2 cats. One is an invisible cat. Her name is Samantha. And Penrod thinks he's a dog. And he raised Tulip. And so they're just like this. If Tulip is in the bed, Penrod is with her in the bed. So it's just We've got some great dog stories. I've had 2 blue tick hounds. Let's see. We had Chief. We had Ginger, which was Michelle's dog. I got Michelle's dog because I got Michelle evicted because her landlord told me that she could get a dog, and the owner of the house saw the dog and he evicted her. He gave her 10 days to get out of the house. So I had to help her get the house clean, and the dog had to come and live with me because she couldn't have the dog at her apartment. So Ginger stayed with us for about 10 years, I think. Maybe a lot less than that, but it was a long time. And Ginger's passed away now too. We had Shadow. Shadow was our precious dog, our angel dog that we were at our barbecue restaurant out at the entrance of the forest. And it was hog wild, and this dog came up in the parking lot, and Robert, being the dog lover he is, they had delivered us some crackers with our salads, and he took the crackers out to the dog because the dog was skin and bones. I mean, skin and bones. And then we got some barbecue to feed the dog some barbecue because I wanted to put the dog in the car, and I couldn't get, we named her Shadow, couldn't get her into the car. And finally somebody whistled and she jumped right in my little Subaru. I mean, right in there. And I brought her home, and she was home. She was really home at that point. And so we had Dr. Clyde Brooks. Y'all remember Clyde? Clyde was my vet. I took her to the vet to get her shots and stuff because no telling how long she'd been out in the forest. Because she was a big dog. I thought she was a big dog till I met Chief, and she hadn't been fixed yet, and he said, you got to run some stuff in the paper. So we ran in the Lost and Found, we ran an ad about her being finding her in the forest, and nobody answered. So in 3 weeks we got her fixed, and I had told all of y'all about her, and y'all kept calling her my angel dog. My angel dog. Well, I went to the vet to pick her up after Dr. Brooks had spayed her, and he said, Marla, you need to come in here and sit down. I said, okay, Dr. Brooks, and because Dr. Brooks was my neighbor up here. God rest his soul, he passed away last year. And he said, I opened her up on the table, and I opened her up 11 inches, and I couldn't find any reproductive organs, and I couldn't find the stump of a womb. I couldn't find anything. And he just looked at me, and he said, in 30 years of practice, I've never run into this, ever run into this. And I said, well, that's okay. I said, because the ladies told me that she was my angel dog. And you know, angels don't have sex organs. And so we never forgot that. So Shadow was my angel dog. Yeah, she was my angel dog. And she passed away a couple of years ago. She passed, well, it's probably been longer than that now. And then we had Harley. We had Gypsy. Gypsy was a blue tick beagle mix, and she was walking past a friend of mine's house. A guy was leading her on a leash, and I said, well, what a cute little hound dog. And he said, do you want her? And I said, why would you give away your little hound dog? And he said, because we live in town and she's a hound dog. And I said, well, we live on 10 acres. And I said, when my husband gets home from work, we'll come and look at her. And you know what? Robert said, well, she can come home with us. And we brought her home, and she was just part of the family. She's the only dog I ever let get on the couch except for Tulip. And she was just this precious dog, just precious. So she and Ginger and Shadow made a pact real quick. And then Robert came home one night from playing chess up on the mountain, and he said, honey, I ran across a red-bone hound. And this was after Lucy had died, and he said, I tried to get her in the car and she wouldn't come. Tomorrow, will you go back with me? I said, well, we should go back right now. And we went back up into the forest, and this dog, God sent me a dog who loved clutter. I'm telling you, God sent me a clutter dog, because this dog had picked up all the trash in the forest and had made a bed for himself. So Michelle named him Harley after the Harley-Davidson motorcycle, because she had a Harley-Davidson purse, and Harley piled the purse up on top of some rugs and all kinds of stuff on the back deck while Robert and I were gone somewhere. And it was just the funniest thing. So we had a dog. I called it Rufus, and she had renamed it Harley by the time we got home. So Harley had he had seizures. That's probably why he was thrown out into the forest. He had seizures, and I didn't know he had seizures, and he had a seizure behind Michelle's chair where his bed was. And, you know, Michelle was my assistant, but I didn't make her clean up dog puke or anything. And so I got back there to clean up Harley's mess, and he came out of his seizure, and he didn't know where he was, and he lunged at me, and he bit my face. Yep, he bit my face. And I stood up, and I looked at Michelle, and I said, he bit me. And she said she'd never seen the whites of somebody's eyes before, and I was right by the fireplace. And next thing I know, Michelle has me, and we are on the floor. She caught me before I hit the floor. Michelle saved my life, because I would have hit my head on the fireplace. And she saw that my eyes rolled, and she was across the room. And so Harley had a seizure, and Harley died later that year, but he got plumped up, and y'all get to see him in a video of me using a purple rag to do the back window, and Harley helped me. I only used water, and Harley helped me. He was a good dog. So that's pretty much all our dogs. Yep. All our dogs. Robert and I met over a dog. He wanted to know how I had house set for his ex-wife, and he wanted to know how Snap was. Snap was a three-legged dog. And I said, well, Snap's kind of a strange dog, because Snap wouldn't let you get close to him. He said, yeah, Snap went with Sue. So, but, you know, dogs give us a lot, you know, and they're a lot of work. But when you have routines, dogs love it. Dogs love routines. I mean, Tulip, she has got her little routine down pat. She knows she gets fed about the time we eat. So her little tummy's full. And dogs like to go out right before we go to bed. So she goes out, and it's kind of nice. Routines. Dogs really do like routines. People have put their shoes on, and the dog would go get the leash thinking it's time to go for a walk. So routines are good for us. Routines are good for pets. Routines are good for children. So get your routines established so that you can give all the love you can give. My friend Eric Dodge, he lost his Anna a couple of years ago, and he was just heartbroken. And I had a dog die the same week, and we were this was in December. He was doing a Christmas show, and she got hit by a truck. She heard a big truck coming, and she thought it was Eric coming home, and she bolted out of the house. And just Eric's mom felt so bad, but Chief died the next day, and here we were, Eric and I both lost dogs within a day of each other. And he now has 3 dogs. 3 dogs. So our cats are pretty old. Samantha was of a litter of kittens that Hawk ate. And so she got away. How she got away? I guess because she's scared and she hid under the porch so the hawk couldn't get her. Penrod, we don't know anything about Penrod, but Penrod is a flame point Siamese. He's a white cat with orange tips. So if it gets cold outside, he gets more orange. And he thinks he's a dog, but that's a trait of these dogs. So establishing routines and having critters keeps you, it's like having kids. It keeps you on your toes. You gotta feed them. You gotta take them for walks. You gotta exercise them. You gotta love them. I have certain treats that I give Tulip, and Robert has certain treats, and she knows who gives what. So having critters in your life is wonderful, but you got to establish routines. How often do you wash their beds and wash their dog bowls, and keep them water outside? It's all about taking care of things. I never dreamed I'd be sitting here talking 30 minutes about critters. But critters are important. We even like our birds. We feed our birds. We have woodpeckers like you wouldn't believe that come to our house. We have pileated woodpeckers. We have yellow-bellied sapsuckers. We have regular red-headed woodpeckers. And we have all our cardinals. We have a rufous-sided towhee, which is a bird that is a ground feeder. So when Robert puts seeds out, he always puts some. I've never made dog cookies for the dog. I've got the thing to make them, but I've never done it. So I might try that sometime. So we feed our pileated woodpeckers so they don't peck on the house. Well, y'all have a good rest of the day. Take some time to just sit out in a sunbeam and enjoy yourself and drink up. Sometimes just thinking about our critters is fun. Yeah, Leanne used to have a cat, orange cat. I don't remember that cat's name. She'll tell me. Let me think hard. I can probably get it too. And then she had a dog. Yeah, having a dog gets us up. Somebody's wanting to know, take pictures, Marla, of your birds. What seeds do you prefer? Black oil sunflower seeds. That's the only thing we buy. And little David, yeah. Black oil sunflower seeds and suet. And then right now we're having yellow birds, and they're California goldfinches. So we have thistle seeds that we have up in these little socks, and boy, they can suck down that food like you wouldn't believe in no time at all. Y'all have a good rest of the day. I love you all. Say a prayer for the people affected by the tornadoes on Sunday. I mean, Jack was running calls with his son John all night long. He's a volunteer firefighter, and he and John is a firefighter in Asheville, and he's a volunteer firefighter here, and they worked all night long. He wasn't working in Asheville on Sunday, so he worked with his dad all night long. Let's see, so I love you all. See you later. Send a sunbeam.